guys, today my mommy is going to talk about screen time.
Hi, this is April. Welcome to another video, and today we're going to talk about screen time guidelines by age. That is how much screen time an infant, a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, and so on can have as per experts' recommendations. Before anything else, if you're new to this channel, Siri and Fam, we post content featuring our kid and our family, teaching other kids fun and valuable stuff, sharing our top parenting tips to other parents out there, or simply sharing good vibes your way. If you like content like this, feel free to subscribe and hit that bell button to get notified whenever we post something new. We released a video some time ago about how to teach your child to talk. You can check it out right there or down the description box below. And in that video, we emphasized how screen time can cause speech delay or can get in the way of language development, especially if no limits or guidelines are followed. This doesn't mean that screen time is the total bad guy and that we should eliminate it entirely or for good. In fact, screen time also has some helpful pros. So before we get down to the actual screen time guidelines by age, let's briefly talk about the pros and cons of screen time. Now let's start with the pros. Number 1, screen time acts as a tool for communicating with family and friends, especially those that are distant. Number 2, screen time can encourage learning, as there are screen time activities that allow kids to learn new information in engaging ways. Number 3, there are many helpful apps for both parents and kids that can help them adopt healthy behaviors like better sleep pattern, healthy food choices, regular exercise, and more. Now let's get down to the cons. Screen time may slow language development among younger children. Yes, a child can learn new words by using the screen, but the screen cannot activate actual communication or conversation. It does not provide the feedback necessary for kids to actually develop the use of language. It's just essentially a one-way interaction, and kids learn language best if there's two-way interaction present. Disadvantage number 2, they hamper creative thinking. If there's too much time spent in front of a screen, there may be less time for other creative activities like painting, drawing, playing with blocks, reading tangible books, and storytelling. And finally, as to social skills, there actually isn't enough evidence supporting that screen time can hurt children's social skills. It's just that too much screen time can inhibit or minimize face-to-face interaction, which is essential for developing better social and even emotional competence. Again, screen time is not evil. It just has to be managed. And for better management, I'm now going to share the actual screen time guidelines by age. Let's start with infants. So for infants, particularly babies younger than 18 months old, they should have no screen time at all. The exception to this rule is video chatting with grandparents or family and friends, which is considered quality time interacting with others as there's two-way interaction present. So for infants, instead of screen time, what you can have infants do is aim for physical activity several times a day in a variety of ways, especially through interactive floor-based play. The more floor-based play for infants, the better. Floor-based play can include turning, rolling, creeping, or crawling on the floor. For those babies who aren't mobile yet, you may have them do 30 minutes of prone position or tummy time spread throughout the day. Do tummy time ideally while the baby is awake. Tummy time is great because it can help your baby develop strong neck and shoulder muscles and actually improve motor skills. I'm going to link down some articles down below so you can read more about the benefits of tummy time for infants. The point is, try to avoid restraining the infant for hours on end or keeping them in one place for too long. Restraining means letting your infant stay in one place for too long doing nothing. Don't just leave them unengaged in high chairs, strollers, or strapped on the caregiver's back. While they're sedentary or unengaged, you can interact with them by reading or storytelling. You can also research on many ways to engage your infant, and I'm also going to link down more articles down below. Besides, your babies aren't really going to stay as babies for too long, and the more time you spend with them, the better. Next, screen time guideline by age. For babies between 18 and 24 months, screen time should be limited to watching educational videos, ideally with a parent or caregiver present to guide the kid. Videos with music, movement, and stories are good options. By watching together, you can help your child understand what he or she is seeing and actually apply it in real life. Instead of more screen time for babies 18 and 24 months old, let them play, engage in problem-solving activities, or have actual engagement with people. Also, remember that the baby's brain development happens mainly in the first 2 years of life. That's why it's very important for babies and toddlers to explore the environment and experience things related to sight, sounds, taste, and textures. Interacting and playing with others can help the children learn more about the world around them. However, in today's world, it's very difficult to keep the babies away from all those TVs, smartphones, laptops, etc. Let's face it, screens are everywhere these days. But just remember that unstructured playtime is better for a child's brain development as compared to electronic media. Children 2 years old and below are more likely to learn and remember information if they come from an actual or live presentation right in front of them rather than information coming from just a video from the screen. Again, screen time can be good, but just mind the limits. Now for children 2 to 5 years old, limit non-educational screen time to 1 hour per weekday and 3 hours per weekend. For ages 6 years old and older, try to limit screen time to not more than 2 hours per day. Instead, seek out interactive options that can engage your child rather than them just scrolling and swiping and staring at the screen all day. Now for some bonus tips. Bonus tip number 1, turn off all screens during family time and outings. This is important, especially in our age right now. It's now common for some families to tolerate kids using screens all the time and not being in the moment during family time. You can establish screen-free zones, like your dining area, and start creating a healthier culture at home. Just make sure that everyone in the family, including adults, follow certain agreed rules in terms of screens. Bonus tip number 2, avoid using screens as pacifiers, babysitters, or to stop tantrums. We're soon posting a video on how to deal with tantrums instead. So feel free to subscribe and hit that bell button to get notified when that comes up. Bonus tip number 3, preview programs, apps, and games yourself first. Check it yourself first before you let your child play or watch them. There are organizations like Common Sense Media that can help you determine what's appropriate. Better yet, watch, play, or use programs, apps, and games with your child so that there's really supervision going on. Also, avoid fast-paced programs that young children can hardly understand, and also avoid those with violent or distracting content. Bonus tip number 4, turn off screens and remove them from the bedroom 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. Removing or shutting off those digital devices in your child's bedroom at least 1 hour before bedtime can help enforce some limits and encourage a consistent sleep routine for them. Bonus tip number 5, you can monitor your kids' time on devices via screen time tracking and parental control apps like Zift and Screentime. Use parental controls and other techniques to block off or filter internet content that is not appropriate for kids. We're soon going to post a video on how to block and filter inappropriate content for kids sometime in the future, so we'll just update this video and insert it somewhere here or down the description box below once it's ready, or you can also hit the notification bell and the subscribe button. Bonus tip number 6, manage your kids' exposure to screen by implementing earned screen time. That is, you allow them to get exposed to screen time if they complete their homeworks, do household chores, etc. Bonus tip number 7. Make sure that your child is close by during screen time so you can easily monitor his or her activities. You may choose to keep the computer in the common area where you can easily monitor what's going on, just like in the living room instead of just placing them in their bedroom. Bonus tip number 8. Delay giving smartphones to kids. Delay giving your kids smartphones until they are in high school, if possible. That's a great idea given how kids can easily be influenced by media. Bonus tip number 9. Be a good role model. Whether you as a parent are doing it right or wrong, your child will naturally follow your lead. If you yourself keep on texting during dinner, keep your phone on the nightstand, stop conversations with friends and family to check your phone and read or reply to an email, you're essentially teaching your child that screens take priority. As your child grows, a one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work as well. You as a parent need to decide how much media your child should consume every day. The bottom line is that for kids of all ages, screen time should not replace the time spent on sleeping, eating, playing, studying, and interacting with family and friends. I think you really just have to do something about it if you can sense that your child is really getting exposed to screen a lot. Everything starts with your leadership and guidance as a parent. And before it's too late, it's better to start training your kids to be mindful of their screen use instead of doing something about it once they're already used to having unlimited screen time already. But I think it's never too late, and there's always something that you can do. Just try to stick to the recommended screen time guidelines by age and the rest of the details that we talked about, and you should be okay. Do share and subscribe if you want similar content and more, but most importantly, if you like this video, feel free to smash the like button down below. That will really help the YouTube algorithm feed this video to other moms and parents out there too. That will help us reach more parents out there who might also find this video valuable. If you have questions or want us to cover other relevant topics in the future, feel free to comment down below and we'll see what we can do. Thank you so much, and till next time. Bye!